I just got off work and I've just been sitting in my car, just been thinking about my life and what I have and what I've been through, and I'm just kind of reflecting on myself, and I'm just very grateful for everything I have, and yeah, it's important to take a step back and count your blessings. I always watch Gary V, and for those of you who don't know who he is, he's a big businessman, entrepreneur, motivational speaker, all these things, and he has millions of followers on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that stuff. But he always talks about putting things in perspective. That's his big thing, is perspective. And I feel like a lot of people don't look at the world in the way they should. They don't look at things the way they should. Half the time people complain about their situation when instead of complaining, they can just do something about it and it'll be over with. And it's just like, people don't get that, But yeah, it's all about perspective. It really is. It really is. One of the examples he uses is talking about how difficult and how rare the chances are of actually becoming a human being. And I'm not sure of the statistics, but he talks about how hard it is for the sperm to get through the body, and and to the egg and everything. And I don't know, it's just, but he talks about how it's so difficult to actually become a human being, and we spend our time just wasting away and complaining and not doing shit. And he talks about that, and it's really an eye-opener for anybody. And it's like, damn, like, time is so limited. Let me fix this. Time is so limited, And people just go to their jobs and school, and they just come home and they just go on their phone and just look on Facebook and just scroll through random comments and like things, and that's it. That's all they do, There's really no purpose to their life, and it's just like, I don't know, people they just don't care, really. They don't care. And it's I don't know, man. I don't know how people can be like that. I mean, you look at the world and people dying left and right, and it's like, your turn could be next, and unfortunately that's the truth of it. So we have to just put things in perspective and realize that, like, you could die. Like, I could literally die making this video. I'm in my car and I'm on the road, and that car right there could hit me, and I'm dead. It could go flying into me 80 miles an hour and cause me to smash my face off the steering wheel, break my neck. I don't know. Like, you never know what could happen, So it's like, you gotta live every moment and appreciate everything. One thing I think people don't really do is wonder about things. And I don't know, people just don't ask questions about our world, and they don't care to learn new things. So, for example, there's this, I don't know if you can see it, there's this building right there, a big brick building, and I was sitting here looking at it, and I was just thinking to myself, like thousands of years ago, that wasn't here, obviously, but when it was being built, like, they had to make it brick by brick, and there's like thousands of bricks in that one building alone, and there's like millions of brick buildings all over the world, and it's like, like, that's crazy. Like, how did, like, when we first started civilization, like, who was the one person who was like, yeah, that would make a good, like, bricks would make a good structure foundation, and it's like, they had to get the clay and the glue to make them stick together. Like, who figured that out? Like, who figured out, like, okay, that's a good idea, and that'll make it safe? Even, like, I don't know, anything, dude. Like, there's a fire hydrant right there in front of me. Like, someone had the idea to, you know, have that there in case of a fire, and not just go running for water every time. And it's like, I don't know, things like that. Like, there's so many different inventions in the world, so many different things that we haven't, things that we don't think of every day. We just take for granted. And it's people just, I don't know, like, I talk to people about this, my friends and people I know, and they just, like, they don't care. And I don't know if it's just the area I live in or my friends or whatever, but it's like, you gotta open your eyes and just be grateful for everything. And I sometimes think about how, you know, like, why was I born now in this time period? I was born in 1993, and I think to myself, why was I born then? I personally believe in God. I grew up Catholic. But I mean, like, I'm not gonna, you know, talk about religion. That's not what I'm talking about. But I don't know. It's interesting to me why I was born at this time, you know. And I'm grateful, honestly, that I wasn't born even, like, back in the 40s, or, you know, when World War I, World War II was going on, and I would be drafted if I was born then, you know. And it's like, even, like, you know, I'm glad I wasn't born in the medieval times, where they had nothing we have today, you know, not obviously nothing, but, and it was just dark, evil time. And it's like, I don't know, just things like that make you think, like, wow, like, we're so lucky nowadays. Not even just in the United States and other countries. Like, I don't know, we've come a long way from, like, just caveman times. And I don't know, it's just, people gotta realize that, like, we could be a lot worse. Have any of you seen the show Revolution? Wait, I think it was on for a couple seasons. But I watched that, and basically it was about, it was set in our time period, and the power went out, the grid shut off all over the world, at least in America. I don't know about the world, but I mean, I'm guessing the world. But yeah, the power went out everywhere, and there was no electricity, and they had to go back to pretty much, you know, not really the dark times. Just they had to use, you know, horses and swords, and, you know, there weren't really any cars. So it's like, and it's interesting to me because, like, pretty much the government fell apart in the show, and different factions started building up. And I'm getting really, really off topic, but what I'm just, it's you know, we could be in that time period, you know, is what I'm saying. And people don't get that. They don't. With my job, I work with a lot of lower income families, and I always think to myself, I'm glad I'm not in their position. And, you know, not that I'm making fun of them or anything like that, but it's like, it could always be worse. Even where I live now, like, you know, I don't live in, like, inner city or anything, but it could be like that, and it could be, you know, violence and drugs and guns. And, you know, I'm glad I was raised with good parents. I'm glad I didn't have a crappy childhood. I'm glad my parents took care of me. I'm glad I had a good education. I'm glad I have good friends. It's just like, people don't get that. That's one thing people don't understand, you know? they think they'll just have to settle for what they have in life. And they believe they can't change it, you know? Like whatever sucky life they have is because that's what it's in the cards for them. And it's just wrong. But yeah, I was just sitting here in my car, like I said, just thinking about stuff, and I just wanted to share with you guys and just talk about gratitude and perspective, because those are very important to be happy. And yeah, I think we need to remember that again, you know, to thank people and say hi to people, and just stop living life in a negative manner, and just I don't know, just be thankful for what you have. Hope you enjoy the video. Thank you.